Missed table throws, instant concussions, wrestlers set on fire. Those are just a few of the mistakes that can occur when the WWE is constantly airing live content. Anything can happen, and there are dozens of superstars that have proven this to be true. Before you do watch, dropkick the subscribe button. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Randy Orton dislocates his own shoulder. One of the most methodical superstars in the WWE is Randy Orton. Just like a real snake, the Viper likes to hunt down his prey and take a little extra time to really savor the moment. One of his key moves in this category is the fisted push-up and build-up to his RKO finisher. At the Over the Limit event in 2010, Orton may have really taken himself over the limit with his huge mistake. After knocking Edge to the mat, Orton was ready to deliver his RKO. He got down on all fours, started pumping his fists, and then got into a kneeling position. From there, Orton proceeded to pump his arms up and down on the mat. The dramatic effect worked well to get the crowd excited, but Orton got a little too into the move. As he pounded his right shoulder over and over, he ended up dislocating it and drastically changed the match ending. Both wrestlers left the ring and ended the match in a double countout as Orton could barely move his arm. The injury didn't keep Orton away from the ring for long as he entered the world title picture and won the WWE Championship shortly after. Chris Jericho versus the referee. The high-flying Neville was just starting to get a big push in the WWE. Fans loved his in-ring skills and got to see him take on many bigger stars on the roster. One of these stars was Chris Jericho. During the build-up to WrestleMania, Neville got the chance to take on Jericho in a match on Raw. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned, as early within the match, Neville broke his ankle. Jericho knew that he was injured immediately, but apparently the referee didn't get the memo. Jericho tried to quickly end the match, but the referee didn't finish the count. This move infuriated Jericho, and he confronted the referee live on television. Jericho shoved the ref, explaining what happened, and the referee stepped back to Jericho, talking trash in his face. Once the ref realized what was going on, he called for the bell and disqualified Jericho from the match. The crazy situation was quickly resolved, but made for a great and unpredictable Raw moment. Jericho had to think on his feet and showcased his veteran skills in the ring by making the right decisions. Months later, Neville returned to join the Cruiserweight division and win the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Sami Zayn's big battleground botch. The rivalry between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is a great modern tale that mirrors classic battles like Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man and Shawn Michaels versus Diesel. These two brought a lot of intensity to their broken friendship and used that to tell a story that evolved from the NXT roster all the way to WWE Raw. The whole thing was set to end at the 2016 Battleground pay-per-view, but it could have ended in a disaster thanks to Zayn's botched move. Sami Zayn has always been creative in the ring, and he showcased one of his creative moves during this match. The only problem is that it didn't go exactly as planned. Zayn hopped up on the top rope, bounced off of it in a sitting position, and was supposed to flip backwards to land on Owens. Instead, he miscalculated his timing, flipped too close to the ring apron, and nearly slammed his neck on the mat. Owens dove in to make it look like he was hit, but the botch was painfully obvious in what could have been one of the biggest highlights of the match. Zayn went on to win the match, but the two still compete against each other as part of the SmackDown roster. Alex Riley's Royal Rumble elimination. The Royal Rumble often looks like a crazy mess with random eliminations, crazy moments, and unpredictable finishes. The truth is that the whole event is meticulously planned out down to every detail and elimination. When a mistake happens, it can derail the whole event and create all types of crazy problems. This is what happened at the 2011 Royal Rumble match. Early in the match, John Cena and Kofi Kingston were beating on Alex Riley in the corner of the ring. In typical Rumble fashion, this was an unimpactful moment that was mostly used as background fodder while other big events went on. Then all of a sudden, Alex Riley fell out of the ring and was eliminated from the match. The moment may have meant nothing to many fans, but the look on John Cena's face said it all. That wasn't supposed to happen. Both Kingston and Cena were dumbfounded at the moment, and things probably got really chaotic backstage as new plans were formed. Alex Riley was supposed to be the one that eliminated John Cena later in the match. The Miz ended up being a run-in during the match, costing Cena his chance at winning. Santino Marella ended up being one of the last people left in the Rumble, taking Riley's spot. The Undertaker gets set on fire. WWE entrances are great spectacles that help introduce a superstar and get fans pumped up for a match. Through the years, there have been some great entrance botches. This includes Sin Cara messing up multiple times using his trampoline jump. Then there's the time that Paul London slid into the ring all the way across it and then out the other side. But nothing compares to The Undertaker's disastrous entrance at the 2010 Elimination Chamber. The Undertaker has one of the most iconic entrances in WWE history. His slow walks, signature music, and mood lighting are a huge part of WWE history. At the Elimination Chamber, things were kicked up a notch when giant flames started shooting up from the stage. One of these flames got a little too close to The Undertaker as he was set on fire before entering the ring. The flames were quickly put out, but that didn't stop The Undertaker from suffering horrible burns. Despite this, he wrestled the whole match and then dealt with his injuries later. Watching the match back, you can see the bright red skin that was caused from the huge flames. Needless to say, the Taker was pretty angry after the event ended. Phew, some of those botches were crazy. Let's take a breather, see if you can answer a trivia question, and then get back to the list. WWE superstars aren't the only ones making botches. Can you name the short-lived announcer that constantly messed up wrestler names, botched phrases, and was eventually named GM of WWE Raw? Stay tuned until the end to see the answer. Dolph Ziggler steals a victory. Dolph Ziggler has spent years climbing the WWE ladder. He won and cashed in the Money in the Bank to claim his first World Heavyweight Championship. He has feuded with WWE superstars like John Cena, Dean Ambrose, and CM Punk through the years. Even with all those marquee matches, Ziggler still feels like an underdog trying to find his spot on the roster. He got another chance to shine recently when taking on AJ Styles during the main event of SmackDown Live. The two had a great back-and-forth match that reached its ending when Ziggler nailed the super kick on Styles. Styles had a leg on the rope, but Ziggler pulled the leg off to get the 3 count. He ended up with a clean victory, but it wasn't supposed to be that way. The referee was supposed to count the pin even though Styles' foot was on the rope. The win was huge for Ziggler, and the announcers were even confused about what just happened. Styles tried to get his foot back on the rope, but he clearly didn't reach it in time. Was Ziggler's leg pull an honest mistake, or a way for him to get a huge main event victory? You decide. Enzo Amore can't handle any more. Enzo Amore and Big Cass made huge waves during their time in NXT. With great catchphrases and the ability to excite crowds, fans saw big things for the duo when they would finally debut on the main roster. Their debut was officially set for the night after WrestleMania 32. During this time, they were immediately added to a tournament to crown new WWE Tag Team Champions. After winning multiple matches in the tournament, they reached the finals at the WWE Payback pay-per-view. This was their first big WWE pay-per-view, and all eyes were set on the rising duo as they took on the Vaudevillains tag team. Midway through the match, Enzo went flying towards the ring ropes when his head and neck whiplashed against the ropes awkwardly. Enzo was knocked completely out of the ring and passed instantly on the arena floor. The botch instantly ended the match as medical professionals rushed to the ring and placed Enzo on a stretcher. He missed over a month of action because of the move, allowing Big Cass to get into some singles action and help set the stage for their eventual split. Spike Dudley gets spiked outside the ring. The Dudleys have always been known as one of the most violent families in WWE history. Their go-to weapon of choice has always been a table. Even though they were the masters at putting opponents through tables, the Dudley boys have also been the victims of some pretty bad table crashes. This also includes their brother Spike. On an episode of WWE Raw, Spike Dudley found himself on the losing end of one of these table attacks. During a violent and chaotic 10-man tag team match, Spike Dudley was being double-teamed by both members of La Resistance. The two tag team partners managed to lift Spike high in the air and attempted to throw him over the top rope and through a table. Even though Spike is a pretty light wrestler, he ended up undershooting the table. His head slammed into the edge and Spike fell pretty hard onto the ground. The head hits extremely hard and looks even more painful when watching the slow-motion replay. Medical personnel had to attend to Spike's injuries, and he ended up missing some time in the company. Spike later returned and got revenge for the injury by defeating Rene Dupree in a singles match. Kozlov can't get over the ropes. Vladimir Kozlov started out as a warrior in the WWE, competing against the likes of Jeff Hardy and Triple H. After losing some main event matches, it was clear that Kozlov wasn't going to be in the big picture for very long. This is when the creative team decided to pair him with Santino Marella and create a comedic tag team duo. On an episode of WWE Raw, Kozlov's botch was supposed to be anything but funny, but fans couldn't help but laugh. During a tag team match, Kozlov and Marella were teaming up to take on the Usos. At one point, Kozlov was supposed to get thrown over the top rope. His body somehow gets tangled on the rope and he does not smoothly go over the top. Still needing to clear out of the ring, Kozlov physically lifts himself over the top until one of the Usos helps him get that last extra bit of momentum before he's fully tossed over. The moment is extremely awkward to watch and showcases a little of the clumsiness that prevented Kozlov from reaching his full potential in the WWE. Now they rely on Rusev to fill the same type of role, and Rusev displays much better wrestling skills. Austin eliminated from the Rumble. Stone Cold Steve Austin has had many classic moments in the WWE, but nothing was as impressive as his record at the Royal Rumble. Austin has won a total of 3 Royal Rumbles and was very close to winning a 4th if it wasn't for The Rock and Vince McMahon screwing him over during the match. Before he became the dominant Royal Rumble performer and rattlesnake that fans know and love, he entered his first Rumble match as a character known as the Ringmaster. The WWE obviously saw something special in the Ringmaster, as he was slated to finish in the Final 4 of the 1996 Royal Rumble. This was the Rumble match that showcased Shawn Michaels going on to win, and then claim the WWE title from Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12. Austin was near the ring ropes when WWE Rikishi knocked him over the top. Austin was supposed to cling to the bottom rope, but his hand slipped and he was eliminated from his match. Austin blamed the elimination on slippery conditions caused by too much baby oil. After the huge mistake, there was nothing that Austin could do other than trot off to the back and watch the rest of the match unfold without him. Thanks for watching. Now let's see if you got the trivia question correct. Mike Adamle was the announcer that made numerous mistakes and was eventually named as the GM of Raw. He lasted less than a year with the company and was released after a storyline altercation with Randy Orton. There you have it. What botch do you think was the craziest? Is there any that we missed? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Sportster on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome videos.